I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to...
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help, okay? But when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it, okay? But what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it.
Okay.
What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller, around Off the Wall Thriller, sometime
And what did you
there.
think? I mean,
It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad. Wacko Jacko. Where'd that come from? Some English tabloid. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me. It's not nice. Don't do it.
Michael Jackson lived under a spotlight where every word, every expression, and every choice was examined by the world. Interviews often felt less like conversations and more like attempts to uncover a hidden truth behind the man everyone thought they knew. But what surprised many people was his reaction when the questions became uncomfortable. The pressure increased, the tone became sharper, and yet he rarely responded with anger. Instead, he often met confrontation with a quiet confidence. Sometimes his answer was gentle, sometimes it came with a small smile, and sometimes the most powerful response was no response at all. He would simply pause, say what needed to be said, and leave the silence hanging in the room, allowing the interviewer to feel the weight of the moment they had created.
How what?
how nervous are you right now?
I'm not nervous at all, actually.
You really aren't?
No, I never get nervous.
You don't?
No.
No, not even for your first interview and it's live around the world? I thought you'd be a little nervous, but that's great, because if you're not nervous, I won't be nervous. I just wanted to let the world know that when we agreed to do this interview, you said that you would be willing to talk to me about everything, and we haven't discussed one single question that's going to be asked here tonight. Just wanted to make that right.
Very true.
Very true.
And that is exactly why the conversation with Oprah Winfrey became one of the most unforgettable moments to start with. In 1993, after 14 years away from live televised interviews, Michael Jackson finally sat down for a worldwide conversation with Oprah. Millions tuned in, expecting answers from one of the most famous and mysterious figures on the planet. But within the first few minutes, it became clear this was not going to be a simple celebrity interview filled with easy questions and carefully prepared answers. The conversation was about to go much deeper into the private world behind the fame, the pressure, and the endless curiosity surrounding Michael Jackson.
Please, it's crazy.
Do you go out? Do you date?
Yes.
Who do you date?
Well, right now it's Brooke Shields. Well, we try not to just be everywhere and go it's mostly at home. She'll come over, I'll go to her house, because I don't like going out in the public.
Have you ever been in love?
Yeah.
With Brooke Shields?
Yes, and another girl.
And another girl?
Then came the question that would remain one of the most talked about moments from the entire interview. Oprah asked something deeply personal, a question that crossed far beyond music and fame and entered the most private parts of his life. Was Michael Jackson still a virgin? For a moment, the world waited for his reaction. But instead of becoming defensive or uncomfortable, Michael responded with remarkable calm. "I'm a gentleman," he said. With just a few words, he avoided the trap of the question while maintaining his dignity. Rather than allowing the conversation to become a spectacle, he redirected the moment with quiet confidence, showing that sometimes composure can be more powerful than confrontation.
I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
So
I'm a gentleman.
So, okay, I would interpret that to mean that means that you believe that a lady is a lady, and therefore...
That's something that's private. I mean, shouldn't be spoken about openly. You can call me old-fashioned if you want, but, to me that's very personal.
So you're not going to answer it?
I'm embarrassed.
Years later, Oprah herself acknowledged that even asking such a personal question felt uncomfortable in the moment. And that single exchange revealed something much bigger about Michael Jackson's complicated relationship with the media. For years, the public wanted access to every part of his life. His fame made people feel entitled to answers, not just about his music, but about his choices, his relationships, and the person behind the image. But when those questions pushed too far, Michael rarely gave the reaction people expected. He did not explode. He did not turn the moment into a fight. Instead, he remained composed, refusing to let uncomfortable questions control the story or turn his private life into a public spectacle.
Well, we would like to know whether or not there is a possibility that you are going to marry one day and have children.
I would feel that my life isn't complete if I do not, because I adore the family life. I adore children, and I adore that whole thing. And I would love to. That's one of my dreams, but I couldn't right now because I'm married. I am married, but to my work. I'm married to my music.
That 1993 conversation also revealed something deeper about the world surrounding Michael Jackson, a time when headlines were beginning to speak louder than the person himself. By then, tabloids had turned his appearance into a constant source of speculation. People debated his face, his skin, and every detail of his physical image, often reducing a complex human being into a collection of rumors and assumptions. The attention was no longer focused only on his music, his creativity, or his words. Instead, the public became fascinated with the story they had built around him, sometimes ignoring the man behind the headlines.
Michael,
Horrifying
then let's go
stories.
to the thing that is most discussed about you, I think, is the fact that the color of your skin is obviously different than it was when you were younger.
Yes.
And so I think it has caused a great deal of speculation and controversy as to what you have done or are doing. Are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
In his 1988 autobiography, Moonwalk, and later during his 1993 conversation with Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jackson addressed the constant speculation surrounding his appearance. He explained that he had undergone only a small number of procedures, specifically 2 nose surgeries and a chin cleft implant. Beyond that, he rejected the many rumors that had continued to follow him for years. But the public fascination with his appearance had already become something much bigger than the facts themselves. The speculation continued to grow, often overshadowing his own explanations and keeping the focus on rumors rather than reality.
To have those products growing up, I used to hear always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to...
Okay, number one, this is the situation.
Yes.
I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help, okay? But when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it, okay? But what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it.
Okay.
What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller, around Off the Wall Thriller, sometime
And what did you
around there.
think? I mean,
It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad.
how much plastic surgery have you had?
Very, very little. You can count them on 2 fingers. I mean, let's say this. If you want to know about those things, all the nosy people in the world,
But
read
once
my
we
book.
say it, we don't have to say it anymore.
Read my
Michael.
book, Moonwalker. It's in my book.
Uh-huh.
You know, let's just put it this way. If all the people in Hollywood who have had plastic surgery, if they went on vacation, there wouldn't be a person left in town.
I think you might be right.
I think I am right. I mean,
He also spoke openly about the changes in his skin tone explaining that they were connected to vitiligo, a medical condition that affects skin pigmentation, a claim that was later noted in findings from his autopsy. So that moment with Oprah was about more than a famous entertainer answering personal questions. It was a man sitting in front of the world, trying to explain himself while facing a narrative that had already been shaped by years of rumors, speculation, and relentless public attention. The challenge was not only answering the questions in front of him, it was trying to separate the truth of his own life from the version of the story that others had created.
I don't want to go into my medical history because that's something that's private, but that's the situation here. So please, when people see something like that.
I just want to get this straight. You are not taking anything to change the color of your skin.
Oh God, no.
You did not purposely.
We're trying to control it, and using makeup evens it out because it makes blotches on the skin, and I have to even out my skin. But you know what's funny? Why is that so important? You know, that's not important to me. I'm a great fan of art. I love Michelangelo. If I had a chance to talk to him or read about him, I would want to know about what inspired him to become who he is, the anatomy of his craftsmanship, not about who he went out with last night or why he decided to sit out in the sun so long. What's wrong with, I mean, that's what's important.
That is one of the reasons Michael Jackson's interview moments continue to capture attention decades later. What made them memorable was not anger or confrontation. It was the way he handled pressure with restraint. He spoke carefully, choosing his words instead of reacting emotionally. It felt like someone who understood that many people had already formed their own opinions, but still believed his side of the story deserved to exist. And that same pattern appeared again years later during his 1997 interview with Barbara Walters. Once again, the world watched as Michael faced difficult questions, not with an explosive reaction, but with the calm approach of someone trying to be understood in the middle of overwhelming public attention.
He's psychic, is that what you're saying?
I don't want to say that, but I've done it before.
And you thought it might be you?
Yes. I've been living in that kind of life all my life. The tabloid press, that kind of press, not the press, the tabloid, the paparazzi, that type. I've been running for my life like that, hiding, getting away. You can't go that way because they're over there. And well, let's go this way. Pretend we're going that way and we'll go that way. Somebody say, hold on, stop. This person deserves their privacy. You are not allowed to go there.
The interview, filmed in Paris and later broadcast on ABC, came at a time when Michael Jackson was no stranger to intense public scrutiny. By 1997, years of media attention had followed nearly every part of his life, from his appearance and personal choices to the way he lived away from the stage. Barbara Walters questioned him about the constant presence of paparazzi and the invasion of his private world. But beyond that single conversation was a much larger reality. The public fascination with Michael Jackson had grown into something almost impossible to escape. The media continued to focus heavily on his image, often placing the person behind the fame beneath the endless discussions surrounding him.
You should not do. You should not say he's an animal. Should not say he's Jacko. I'm not a Jacko. I'm Jackson.
How do you feel when they call you
Wacko Jacko? Where'd that come from? Some English tabloid. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me. It's not nice. Don't do it. I'm not a wacko.
There are those who would say that you add to the attention.
No, I don't.
Well, the masks, the mysterious behavior.
There's no mysterious behavior. There's a time when I give a concert, I like to have as many people want to come can come and enjoy the show. And there's a time where you like to be in private when you put on your pajamas, go to sleep, cut off the light, ding, and lay down. That's your private space. If you go in the park, I can't go in the park. So I create my own park at Neverland, my own water space, my movie theater, my theme park. That's all for me to enjoy.
Once again, the conversation became a search for the person behind the public image, an attempt to reach the private Michael Jackson hidden beneath decades of fame. But his response followed the same pattern. He remained calm, thoughtful, and measured, even when the questions became deeply personal. That control was what made the moment so powerful. He did not provide the dramatic reaction that could be turned into a sensational headline. He did not give the cameras anger or conflict to capture. Instead, he stayed composed, and by doing so, he kept control of the moment and the story being told.
I don't want this to sound insulting. I'm just going to be straight with you. But you are somewhat eccentric, to say the least. The way you dress, the way you look, it invites attention. More extreme. You don't think that calls the paparazzi to you?
No.
No?
No. Maybe I like to live that way. I like to dress that way. I don't want paparazzi, really. But if they come, be kind. Write the right kind thing to write.
Michael, is it the journalist's role or the press's role to be kind?
To be kind?
Because the press also sometimes has to look into things, be tough. It can't always be kind.
What you saw what happened to Lady Diana, you tell me. There should be some boundaries, some kind of way. The star needs some space. Give him a chance to relax. He has a heart. He's human.
By the middle of the 1990s, Michael Jackson's interviews had entered a completely different territory. The questions were no longer focused only on his success, his music, or his life as a global superstar. Now, every conversation carried the weight of controversy, public suspicion, and endless speculation. The world was not just asking who Michael Jackson was. It was questioning the person behind the legend. And that is what made the 1995 Primetime Live interview with Diane Sawyer, alongside Lisa Marie Presley, such a fascinating moment. It was no longer simply an interview with an entertainer. It was a rare look at Michael facing some of the most intense attention of his career, with millions watching to see how he would respond.
Who proposed? I mean, how did marriage actually get discussed?
Well, at first, this is what happened. When she was 18, I used to tell my lawyer, John Branca, do you know Lisa Marie Presley? He'd go, well, I represent her mother. I go, well, can you get in touch with her? Because I think she's really cute. And he'd laugh every time. He goes, I'll do my best. That's what he'd say. Then he'd come back. I said, well, did you find out? He said, no, there's nothing. So I would worry him about this all the time. The next thing I noticed, there's a picture on a magazine cover where she's married, which really tore me to pieces.
The interview carried a level of attention rarely seen before. Reports later highlighted that tens of millions of viewers tuned in, making it one of the biggest television moments surrounding Michael Jackson. It was also his first major interview following the allegations that had dominated headlines in the early 1990s. Because of that, the conversation felt bigger than a normal celebrity appearance. It felt like the world was waiting for answers. Promoted as a revealing, unrestricted discussion, the interview reflected the intense atmosphere surrounding Michael at the time. Every word, every reaction, and every pause was being analyzed. This was not simply a conversation about a marriage between Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. It was happening inside a storm of media pressure, public doubt, and a constant demand for explanation.
You ask Michael about the charges. Did the two of you talk about the impact of the marriage on the allegations?
Absolutely not. He called, I was in touch with him through the whole process of this charges going on. I was talking to him when he disappeared. I was actually supposed to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico when he left and disappeared, and I got a call that he wasn't going to be there, and I was actually part of the whole thing with him, but talking to him on the phone. So I didn't...
Did you say to him, are they true?
No, I didn't. No, I actually did not.
I want to take a minute here, and I'm going to come back to the marriage.
Sorry. He went on and on and on about it, so I didn't really have to say, are the allegations true? It was, on the phone, and
over and over
just
again.
Constant, yeah.
When Diane Sawyer pushed into the difficult questions, the most striking part was Michael's reaction. Despite the enormous pressure surrounding the interview, he did not appear shaken or overwhelmed. He remained steady, measured, and focused, even while the entire world was watching his every move. Beside him, Lisa Marie Presley presented a protective presence, standing with him as the conversation moved through uncomfortable territory. Together, they showed something rarely seen in moments of intense public scrutiny: the ability to face a powerful spotlight without allowing it to take complete control of the moment.
I want to begin by making sure that the terms are clear. You have said that you would never harm a child. I want to be specific as I can. Did you ever, as this young boy said you did you ever sexually engage, fondle, have sexual contact with this child or any other child?
Never, ever. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that.
And what do you think should be done to someone who does that?
To someone who does that, what I think it should be done, gee, I think they need help in some kind of way, you know?
How about the police photographs, though? How was there enough information from this boy about those kinds of things?
The police photographs, that they took of me.
Yes.
There was nothing that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm sitting here talking to you today. There was not one iota of information that was found that could connect me.
So when we've heard that there was a marking of some kind.
No markings.
That interview also revealed a larger issue surrounding Michael Jackson's public life: the way his personal world had become a form of public entertainment. The media wanted answers about the relationship from every possible angle. Was it genuine? Was it calculated? Was there something hidden behind it? Was it simply a carefully created public image? Every possibility became a headline, and every detail became something to analyze. But as the questions continued, Michael and Lisa Marie remained focused on presenting their own reality rather than accepting the story others had already created for them. They were not just defending a relationship. They were pushing back against a culture that had become determined to define their lives from the outside.
Why did you settle the case then? Why did you settle the case? And it looks to everyone as if you paid a huge amount of money.
Most of that's
to get
folklore.
silence.
I talked to my lawyers and I said, can you guarantee me that justice will prevail? And they said, Michael, we cannot guarantee you that a judge or a jury will do anything. And with that, I was like catatonic. I was outraged.
How much money
Totally
was it?
outraged. So what I said, I have got to do something to get out from under this nightmare. All these lies and all these people coming forward to get paid in these tabloid shows, just lies, 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 lies. So what I did, we got together again with my advisors and they advised me, it was hands down, a unanimous decision, resolve the case. This could be something that could go on for 7 years.
How much money
was it?
Let's
get it behind us.
The power of that moment did not come from Michael losing control. It came from the fact that he never gave up control. Rather than allowing the conversation to follow the path the questions were trying to create, he stayed grounded and refused to let the interview become a spectacle built around someone else's expectations. And that was important because this was far from an ordinary celebrity appearance. It was one of the most watched television events of the year, and every pause, every glance, and every expression from Michael Jackson was being examined as if it revealed something deeper. In a moment where the world was searching for a reaction, Michael's calm became the reaction itself.
We have called everyone we can call. We have checked everything we can check. We have gone and tried to see if what we heard before is in fact the case. I want to ask you about two things. These reports that we read over and over again, that in your rooms they found photographs of young boys, not of adults.
Young boys, there's children, all kind of girls and everything.
Then that they found photographs, books, of young boys who were undressed.
No.
Didn't happen.
No, not that I know of, unless people sent me things that I haven't opened. People know my love for children. So they send me books from all over the world, from South America, from Germany, from Italy, from Sweden.
So if people say that they found those things, if there's an indication, let them come forward, let them produce them, right?
Yeah, because I get all, you wouldn't believe the amounts of mail that I get. And if you say to somebody, you know, if I let the fans know I love Charlie Chaplin, I'll be swarmed in Charlie Chaplin paraphernalia. But if I say I love children, which I do, they swarm me with everything pertaining to kids.
The power of that moment did not come from Michael losing control. It came from the fact that he never gave up control. Rather than allowing the conversation to follow the path the questions were trying to create, he stayed grounded and refused to let the interview become a spectacle built around someone else's expectations. And that was important because this was far from an ordinary celebrity appearance. It was one of the most watched television events of the year, and every pause, every glance, and every expression from Michael Jackson was being examined as if it revealed something deeper. In a moment where the world was searching for a reaction, Michael's calm became the reaction itself.
Here is part of that conversation.
What is your response to the allegations that were brought by the district attorney in Santa Barbara that you molested this boy?
Totally false. Before I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. These are totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that.
This is a kid you knew?
Yes.
How would you characterize your relationship with this boy?
I've helped many, many, many children, thousands of children. Cancer kids, leukemia kids. This is one of many.
That British documentary last February, which you didn't like.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
You said in that documentary that many children have slept in your bedroom. You said,
Yes.
and I'm going to quote here, "Why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone."
Yes.
As we sit here today, do you still think that it's acceptable to share your bed with children?
Of course.
The atmosphere of the interview was heavy because the subject itself carried enormous public attention. And that is what made Michael's approach so noticeable. As the questions became more direct and the pressure increased, he seemed to respond by becoming even more careful with his words. Instead of reacting emotionally or trying to overpower the conversation, he focused on explaining his position with restraint. He did not appear to be trying to defeat the interviewer or turn the moment into a debate. It felt more like he understood that the conversation itself had become the headline, and every word, every pause, and every reaction would become part of the larger public discussion surrounding him.
Of course, why not? If you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to be Jack the Ripper, if you're going to be a murderer, it's not a good idea. That I'm not. That's how we were raised. And I didn't sleep in the bed with the child. Even if I did, it's okay. I slept on the floor. I gave the bed to the child.
If there is one moment that shows Michael Jackson directly challenging the way the media portrayed him, it is the 2003 interview with Martin Bashir. The documentary Living with Michael Jackson was presented as an inside look at his personal world, with Bashir following him through different parts of his life and focusing heavily on his role as a father. But after the documentary aired, Michael said he felt deeply misrepresented by the way the final program was edited and presented. What was meant to be a closer look behind the scenes became, in his view, another example of how the media could shape a public image that did not match the reality he believed he had shared.
You know, you physically changed, haven't you? The photographs of you, if I look at them
No, it's
from...
called adolescence. It's called growing and changing.
Yeah, but even the shape of your face has
No,
changed.
it has not. I've had no plastic surgery on my face, just my nose. It helped me breathe better so I can hit higher notes and have clearer. The press decided to add on all this stuff. Nothing's been done to my eyes, cheekbones, chins, lips, nothing. They made it all up.
Do you think that people do go too far with plastic surgery, generally? Do you think
Well,
it's
up to
become...
them.
So why are you so defensive when people say Mick Jagger's had one, Paul McCartney may have had one, oh, Michael Jackson's had one?
They don't do it that way.
What do they do?
They just pick on me like I'm the only one that does it. That's why.
By 1987, during his interview with Ebony/Jet, Michael Jackson was already showing a level of awareness about the way the world viewed him. These early conversations are important because they reveal that his calm public presence was not something created only after controversy surrounded his name. It was part of who he had become long before the biggest storms arrived. Michael understood something early in his career. The moment an artist lost control of their emotions in front of the media, the reaction itself could become the headline. The focus could shift away from the message and toward the person delivering it. So he learned to choose his words carefully. He became more intentional, more measured, and more aware of every moment in front of the camera. Under the bright lights of an interview, while millions watched, Michael Jackson developed the ability to remain composed, as if the pressure around him could not easily break through.
A lot has been required of you. Do you sometimes regret being so utterly famous?
No, sometimes, only sometimes. Sometimes I want to sneak into places and not have any hoopla or, you know, and it doesn't work all the time because people start and they crowd around, and which is sweet. I mean, I shouldn't complain, but
no, but you have a right to complain because everybody has the right to go out there and to just be alone. But it seems like that right isn't really given to you.
Well, it's part of the work, I would say.
And that is what truly makes these interviews so memorable. The power was never in Michael Jackson raising his voice or trying to overpower the people questioning him. It came from something much quieter. It came from his ability to hold on to his dignity when the conversations became uncomfortable, personal, and sometimes hostile. These moments revealed a side of Michael that many people underestimated. Someone who understood the importance of controlling his own reaction when others were trying to control the narrative around him. Because he knew something many people forget, the more provocative the question becomes, the more powerful silence, patience, and composure can be. Instead of giving the moment the chaos it was searching for, he often chose restraint. And that is why these interviews continue to be remembered. They were not just conversations about fame, controversy, or public opinion. They were moments where Michael Jackson stood in the middle of overwhelming attention and tried to keep one thing that the world could not take from him: control over his own voice. If you enjoyed this journey through Michael Jackson's most unforgettable interview moments, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Which interview do you think showed his strongest composure?